I think my husband actually found KBD. So we had, when we knew we wanted to redo our kitchen, we started looking at big box stores. We had actually gotten a quote. Actually, we got a quote from a client of his, and it was way more than I was expecting, and I freaked out, and I was like, I'm not paying somebody that much to do my kitchen. Like, that's just too much. So we went to the big box stores, and I was like, okay, I can handle that. But then as we were looking at it, my husband has worked for Simply Amish years ago, and so he was like, I don't like these cabinets, they're not what I want. Like, we both knew we wanted the natural hickory. Love, love, love. And he knew more about how furniture was made. And so we kept looking, and he was like, I'm like, okay. So as I kind of like came to accept that it was just gonna cost more than I thought, I think he's the one that actually found KBD. And so I don't remember if it was my referral or if we just went online or how he knew about them, but he was looking for something better than, he wanted more quality, is what he wanted. Oh, it was dramatically different to go with KBD than the big box store. It was so much more helpful. I already knew like the layout generally and the design. I'd spent time figuring that out. So that part I knew. But when you go to the big box store, you have to kind of like, you have to figure it all out yourself. And I'm not a designer. So, you know, I've looked online, and that's how I kind of knew what I wanted and what I had a general idea. But I didn't know like how things would look together. And it's really hard in a big box store to try to we love home remodel shows, right? And you watch them and they lay out everything together and you can see all the colors, and we couldn't really do any of that. And so KBD was amazing because when I would go in there, they had everything, and she could like pull the doors off and put them next to a flooring or have countertop. Like all the samples of everything I needed was there. And in fact, she actually let me bring the flooring sample home so I could literally put it on my floor. And it was the color that was on the other side of this color is what I initially picked. And then I flipped it over when I got here, and I thought, oh, I think I like this one better. So working with KBD gave me the opportunity to see everything together and how it would all look, instead of me trying to piecemeal it and hope that it was going to be okay when I got it all done. I always think it's helpful, and this is kind of my thing in life with everyone, is the more you can know what you want, the better your experience is going to be with anything. So you need to have some idea first of what you want, even if it's just a feeling of how you want your space to feel. But if you have some idea of what you want, then you can go with someone who has the expertise that you don't, and they can help you figure it out around that. So like, I already generally knew what I wanted, but I don't know materials. I don't know, like one thing that Kelsey said that I never thought of is I wanted square poles. And she said, those are great, but just to let you know, they don't stay square. And I thought, oh, that's gonna drive me nuts if they don't stay square. So we switched our poles, our knobs, you know, and I didn't think about the difference between knobs and poles, right? Like the different handle types. So yeah, have a general idea of what you want, and then find somebody who knows more than you do, who can just help you put it all together. You'll be so much happier, right? Like, I don't wanna have to redesign this again in 5 years because I didn't really like it. And so now I don't, because I'm thrilled with my kitchen and I don't ever have to change it. I think Kelsey helped like pull it all together, and it gave me the place to see the whole thing more clearly. I don't have the ability to picture a lot of things in my head. I need to kind of, like with something like design, I really need to see something physically. I'm not a designer, right? And so she helped me be able to do that, to be able to actually see what it would look like more clearly, to make my picture more clear so that we could make it look like this. The biggest challenge was my husband had to figure out how to do the crown molding. And literally, like, that's why you're just here now and we finished in December, because we couldn't find anybody who knew how to do it, and it's extremely difficult to do, and he's like, I will never do it again. So that wasn't really a KBD thing, that was just us, because we did almost all of this ourselves. And so I just had to learn to be very patient with him, because we had to keep buying more wood. But it was okay. But we didn't actually have any problems in the design process or the timing of, like, yes, I would have liked to have gotten materials in sooner, right? You spend more time waiting than actually doing it. But whatever, we knew it was going to be that way. So thankfully, we didn't actually encounter any problems with anything, which is really nice. It feels the way I wanted it to feel. I feel like I have a nice kitchen. I spend a lot of time in my kitchen, and I'm happy being here. Whereas before, it just felt very like, ugh, it just wasn't what I wanted. I never had enough space. This space was my countertop that I had, and that was it. Like that, there was nothing against that wall. You know, right? The cooktop was over here. We didn't even have that there. So that was my countertop space. I'm like, this is not working. And so I'm happier now. I have more space. I just love everything about it. And so I'm happier in my kitchen. And that parlays over into my cooking and my baking and the work that I do. Because I just enjoy being here more. In fact, my family came for Christmas. We had just yesterday we got that new sectional. So we had some different seating. And when they came for Christmas, we literally spent our time here in the kitchen instead of in there because we were so comfortable sitting in here. And we've never done that before. So now it's like we're comfortable here. We sit here more, we talk more, we spend time here. And I love that. Well, I can give you one word, and I would say expanding. Because there's a ton of growth. This is our first home. We've been here for 10 years, and we've been remodeling it the entire time because it all needed it. And so that's a huge process of growth anyway. And that's really the biggest thing that I went through with this, that both of us went through, myself and my husband, because we had to accept how nice this is compared to what we have, and we had to be okay with that. And so expanding is really the word I would use for the whole process. Ideally, if I did it again, I would love to just pay someone to do all the work. You know, I mean, it was fine. We were happy we did it, but right, it's a lot of work, and you have to learn things that you don't know how to do, and that's challenging, and that's fine, but it takes a lot of time. And we want things to look nice. We don't want to throw stuff together. So it took us more time. So I think it's like everything in life. You have to balance like where are you putting your energies and what's most important to you. And I think part of it is also that we've done the work ourselves on like 99% of our house. And if you love it, that's great. I'm happy I've done it, but I don't want to keep doing it for forever. I want to let the people who know how to do it come in and get it done. And that's really the biggest thing. But I do love how it all turned out. And it is a good opportunity, again, to learn and to grow and to develop new skills. I learned how much help you need. I did the tiling with the help of a friend who was a retired professional tiler. And I had watched videos on YouTube, and like all YouTube videos, they make it look so easy. And I thought, oh my gosh, if I did not have this man's help, I probably would have completely ruined it. Like, it's nowhere as easy as they make it look, especially if you haven't done it. And there's a ton of details to it, and I'm gonna mess it up if I don't have help. So having help and not being afraid to ask for it, and realizing that it's just a normal thing that we all need help with different things. And there are lots of people who wanna help. Like, we have friends who helped, who love doing this kind of work. I think about the day that my husband had a buddy of his come to help tear down the cabinets. And he was like, can I just really like swing at him? He just wanted to have fun destroying them. And they were too old to use for anything else, of course. So he's like, yeah, have at it. So asking him for help, this other friend for help, gave him the opportunity to fulfill a need. And so it's amazing to see how that works when you work with other people. So yeah, if you're considering doing your kitchen, I would encourage you to start with some sort of design plan in your mind, right? If you're on Pinterest, make a Pinterest board. If you can find, there are a lot of places online where you can design a layout for your space. Start with something like that, or even just take a piece of paper and draw it out. And think a little bit about like your materials and your colors and what you want, so you know what you're starting with. Because there are so many options that if you don't have some idea in the first place, you're gonna be completely overwhelmed. And then, once you have that, then I would encourage you to go find somebody who knows how to do it and bring it to life, and partner with them and let them help you make it happen. So we went to KBD because we wanted someone with that design knowledge and experience who could help us piece all of these things together and sort through the choices that honestly I didn't even know that I needed to make. And so that far outweighed any experience I could have had trying to do it all myself and then ending up unfulfilled and unhappy with what I got. So going to KBD made all the difference for us in being able to have the kitchen that I really wanted in my house.